welcome back. We are starting a brand new series, a new segments for 2026. So excited to be with you guys. God has so much in store for our lives. And today I want to sit with one simple but very confronting truth. What we run from will pursue us, and what we face will transform us. So I titled this podcast, Run or Face. And I'll repeat that saying again. What we run from pursues us, what we face transforms us. That sentence alone has the power to stop us in our tracks. That sentence alone is so profound. It's so deep. It goes deep down of truths that perhaps we already know. But today's reflection is based on a well-established psychological principle that what we avoid tends to persist, and what we confront has the potential to change us. This isn't just some language that I'm using to motivate you to change, but it's actual behavioral science. And there's a core concept when you think of psychology. The core concept is as follows: avoidance is actually one of the most common coping strategies that humans use when experiencing any kind of stress, any kind of distress. So, in short term, avoidance really reduces any kind of discomfort. And in the long term, it really reinforces fear. So the reason why fear may be present in our lives is because we have avoided some things. In essence, fear could very well be present, and we're carrying this fear into 2026 because we have been avoiding. Because avoidance will actually reduce discomfort in our lives. Who likes to be uncomfortable? Nobody does. But to confront will require us to get uncomfortable. You see, when we avoid something, whether it's a thought, or we're avoiding an emotion, or we're avoiding a memory, or we're avoiding a situation, the nervous system never has the opportunity to learn that the threat can actually be tolerated. You can actually manage it. You can actually confront it. You can actually tolerate that situation. And as a result, the avoidance experience, the thing that we have been avoiding for so long, the thing that we are afraid of confronting, often becomes actually more intrusive, more emotionally charged, and more disruptive over time. It is with no wonder that somebody might experience fear, and those emotions of fear are very much charged. And it becomes very disruptive over time because what you were created to confront is really the thing that you are avoiding to confront. So, avoiding is a coping mechanism, and that as a result, it's just becoming more intrusive. It's not going anywhere. It's not you evading something, and as a result, it's not going to be there anymore. Quite the contrary, it becomes more fearful. So we're either going to run from something or we're going to face something. This is why unresolved issues don't stay dormant. That's why a lot of things in our lives start to surface, because unresolved issues, they don't go away. Unresolved issues actually surface, and they surface as anxiety, as fear, as irritability, as somatic symptoms or maladaptive behaviors. In clinical terms, avoidance maintains the problem. That's what avoidance does. You're just maintaining the problem. It didn't go away. We were actually designed and created to confront, not to run. Here's a main thought. Most of us spend a lot of our energy just avoiding things. We avoid painful conversations. We avoid doing hard things. We avoid unresolved trauma or healing, or we avoid fear, or we avoid disappointment, we avoid rejection, we avoid even our destiny or our calling or confronting the parts of us that make us uncomfortable. And we think that distance will equal freedom. But that's not true. Avoidance doesn't erase our pain, it actually multiplies it. What we run from doesn't disappear. It shows up in anxiety. It shows up in fear. It shows up in relationships. It shows up in our reactions, the way we've been reacting, the way we avoid, the way we isolate, the way it shows up in our triggers or our exhaustion or our fatigue. Could the exhaustion that you've been feeling mentally be the result of an avoidance? See, the very thing we refuse to face often becomes the loudest voice in our life. Running gives the problem power. Facing it takes the power away. When you run from something, you are actually giving power to the very thing that you are running from. But facing it gives your that power away from that problem. Here's the other side of this truth. What we face transforms us. Whatever you face is transforming you. What we face will transform us. What you avoid only gives that avoidance more power. When we finally stop, turn around, and look at what's been chasing us, then something shifts. Courage doesn't mean that fear is going to be gone completely, but it does mean we stop letting fear lead us. Healing doesn't happen by pretending something didn't hurt you. Healing doesn't happen because we're avoiding something. That's not how healing happens. It happens when we name it. It happens when you feel it. It happens when you finally bring it up to light. What we face loses its ability to control us. When you cannot face things, then fear will be present. What we face becomes a teacher instead some torment, of some big problem that has so much power. Let me give you a spiritual reflection when it comes to running and facing. In the scriptures, God told his people continually. He told his people to never run from situations. To David, he told him to face Goliath. He met them in it. He didn't tell him to run from it. Quite the contrary, he showed up in it. He met them where they were at. God never told the children of Israel to run from the wilderness. He made them run to it, and then he met them in it. And God is calling you and I not to run from circumstances, not to avoid grief or avoid healing or avoid a difficulty or a behavior or to avoid something. Many of you have been running in 2025 from something and you're still fearful of that thing because you have not confronted it. So you're either going to flee and run or you're going to confront it. It is the very reason why fear continues to follow. We are only empowering that thing that we are running from. God never told us to run from something. He met us in it. He meets us in that. And transformation can only come into our lives in the presence of discomfort. Transformation didn't happen in comfort when you look at the scriptures. It actually happened in confrontation. And the moment you face the very thing that you've been avoiding is often the moment that God begins doing something new in you. The new in you that God wants to do can only come when we do courageous acts by confronting the very thing that we're scared to confront. I want to challenge you because here's the question for you today. What have you been running from? That conversation, that grief, that test, that exam, that decision, that calling, that relationship, that truth. You don't have to necessarily conquer it all today. You just have to face it. because what you run from will actually keep chasing you. It will chase you into 2026, but what you face can actually free you. It can finally set you free because you're finally confronting the giant. You're finally confronting the difficulty. Let me give it to you from a clinician's perspective and reflection. And here's a good question. What am I avoiding? What does that avoidance cost me? When I avoid it, what is it costing me? Is it costing me healing? Is it costing me courage? Is it costing me the ability to move forward? Avoidance often feels protective. Avoidance is feeling to you like it's protecting you. I'm just protecting. No, you're not. It's not protecting you. You're only empowering the very thing that you're afraid of. You see, in the end, it becomes very expensive because it's going to cost you emotional energy. It's going to cost you the flexibility to transform. It's going to cost you a presence. The approach, while uncomfortable as it may seem when you are confronting something difficult, it's actually building resilience in you. It's building autonomy in you, the ability to decide for yourself. Let me summarize it this way. What we run from tends to follow us through symptoms and patterns. In your life, you can look at the things that you're running from, and I guarantee you it's showing up in some kind of symptom. It's showing up in a pattern. But what we face gradually, maybe not all at once, but intentionally, and with a lot of support, it's actually creating this condition for change. It's creating a presence for you to be able to now change. This is not philosophy. This is actually how your nervous system learns safety. Some of you didn't grow up in safety. You didn't feel safe. Maybe you're in hypervigilance and you don't feel safe. But this is how your nervous system starts to learn safety. To break the cycle of avoidance, sometimes the cycle of avoidance leads us to ADHD or not being able to focus, or we're distracted, or sometimes we have anxiety. Listen to me, your nervous system learns safety by actually confronting the hard things, facing them with courage. So I want to challenge you today. What are you running from? Or what do you need to face? Because what we run from pursues us, and what we face transforms us. We'll see you guys next time.